Live, one more minute. We're gonna wait until everyone is on the stream. Alright. Alright, guys, this is going to be Aries. Got a minute. 7 o'clock is when the stream starts. Let me go ahead and turn down my music and make sure everything is working out alright. Alright. Studio sound. Okay. Alright, hopefully we have sound. Okay. Alright. Alright, there we go. Okay, so the sound's working. Alright. It's 11 o'clock, and this is the weekly reading, right? We're going to get right into the weeklies. The weekly reading for Aries. This is the first time I'm doing a live stream for this. We're going to use, I use the Romance Angel Messages deck and the Wild Unknown Animal Spirits deck for this reading. And then we will pull out a series of 3-card forecasts for the week with my traditional deck. All right, guys. All right, thank you very much for stopping by. Take a sip of iced coffee. All right. Welcome to Bow and Arrow Tarot. I'm going to get right into it. The video is scheduled to start at 11 o'clock, and it is 11:01. So, Aries. Hello, Aries. This is going to be the weekly reading for Aries for October 13th to the 19th. And we're going to go ahead and pull out your 3 Romance Angel Messages. Just to see what those messages are for the week. This is a general reading. All right, so just bear in mind that these messages could impact your love life, your career life, could impact family and friends as well. So let's just see where we're at this week, Aries, with Romance Angel Messages. All right, guys, the first message out is this could be the one. We have codependency. And we have past life relationships. All right. So, now for those of you who are regulars, you know how this goes. I pull out 3 angel messages for the week just to see what kind of messages they have impacting your events this week. And then we're going to pull out your 3 animal spirits and go into those briefly. So, some of you are dealing with, this could be the one is a romantic partner you're seeking, you've already met, right? And codependency, of course, it talks about addictions affecting your romantic life. And again, with past life relationships coming out, talking about somebody that you've known before. So, let's see what animal spirits. Now, animal spirits can come in as events, they can come in as energies, or they can be resonating as characteristics of individuals that you're dealing with. All right, and it just helps us understand what kind of energies are riding with you this week, Aries. All right, we have first out is the dolphin, water energy, beautiful. Dolphin is one of the highest cards for healing, right? So we're definitely talking about healing a situation. Then we have deer energy. Now this is earth energy. The deer is the card for the mother. So some of you may be dealing with children, right? Deer energy is very, very gentle though, right? It's earth energy that's being called for to be very gentle, very nurturing. And then we have fire ant energy. And of course, this is fire energy. That's denoted by the alchemical symbols at the tops of the card. We have fire, earth, and water. Now, before we go into your weekly spreads, Aries, let's just take a quick look at these animal spirits. We're going to see how they might be impacting your life this week. We'll start off with the dolphin. Of course, the dolphin is associated with healing, right? The dolphin is one of these beautiful cards that is really, it's all about empathy, right? With the dolphin, sensitivity. Somehow, dolphins are able to sort of feel what humans are going through, right? Oftentimes, dolphins are used for healing. They're used to work with people with disabilities, right? Who have hearing loss, vision loss, whatever kind of sensory loss you have, they use dolphins to work with individuals like that. They have a great amount of compassion and understanding in a really strange way. Obviously, they're a different species than us, but this is the nature of the dolphin. It is a water elemental animal. So we're talking about healing things that are emotional traumas more than anything. The dolphin has the ability to do this. So this energy could be resonating with someone who's coming into your life, who's helping you right now through a particular emotional situation. This could just be energy that's resonating around you right now, especially if you're going through something quite traumatic, or if you're trying to get over something most recently that has been very, very emotional and you really are trying to heal from it. Dolphin energy is the perfect energy to come in. It's also very, very complementary with deer energy because the deer is earth. But here we have the nurturing quality of earth, the nurturing quality of the earth mother. The deer is the card for motherhood in the deck, right? And also is the card that speaks about gentleness. There's a kind of gentleness that needs to be brought to bear, especially when you're dealing with children, new children, babies, right? New little babies, they need support and nurturing, but they also need it to be in a very gentle way, right? And so this energy of the mother energy is very strong, but yet we have this gentle creature of the deer. And why? Because this, in this particular scenario, this is what's being called for. So again, I'm going to say that for some of you, you may be going through something this week. In your life that it's just requiring a gentler hand. It's requiring a bit more of gentler, sort of nurturing energy, right? In that feeling of like a mother, that loving kind of gentle energy. It could be that again you're going through something very traumatic. You could be dealing with someone who is going through something very traumatic. Dear energy can also indicate that a person who has a lot of affection for you could be coming in for you this week to help you through a particular scenario. This could be a relative indeed. An auntie who comes in, could even be your mother coming in to visit and to give you some of that kind of strong, feminine, supporting, yet gentle and nurturing love that's really needed right now. Now, the last and least, of course not least, is fire ant, and this is associated with, of course, the alchemical symbol for fire. And fire ants are agitated. They're irritated. They're very easily sort of worked up in a frenzy. If we look at fire ants in the wild, we see how they behave. It only takes a very little bit of sort of contact with them to get them going. All right, and this could very much be either somebody you're dealing with this week who's very, touchy all the time. You may be fighting with them a lot. They may be very angry, or you may be feeling this way, right? Some of you Aries this week may indeed be feeling a little bit sort of easily aroused, easily irritated by people. It just could be that you're going through the regular stresses and strains of life. And right now, when you're dealing with particularly frustrating situations, it's really arousing this kind of energy. If you are personally resonating with fire and energy, then this is the week to try to pull back from situations that are overly sort of stressful. It is probably time to maybe do a little cool meditation eating cool foods, watching your diet, right? Our diet has a lot to do with our temperament sometimes, trying literally staying away from hot and spicy things and maybe erring on the side of coolness, getting a massage, relaxing, because ultimately that fire and energy just kind of is wasted energy. You just get yourself upset for no reason. Again, if you're dealing with somebody like that, then it's good to just leave them at a distance, let them calm down, right? Lest that energy sort of infect your week. All right, Aries. So we are going to get right into your 3-card spreads for the week. Now, these spreads, of course, not all of this is going to resonate with all of you, Aries, and that's fine. But whatever resonates, that's, that applies. You pay attention to that and just disregard the rest, all right? Now, these are 3-card sort of forecasts. We're going to do about anywhere from 5 to 8, depending on how long I spend on each. And these are general, so they could be in love, life, or career, friendship, family, healing, what have you. All right, Aries. Let's see what's going on with Aries this week, October 13th to the 19th. All right, we want clear 3-card forecasts, clear messages to give to our lovely Aries, and how this healing energy, this gentleness, some of this heat coming in, how is this going to affect the Aries this week? Show me. All right, guys, let's get right into it. We have straight out Queen of Wands, Queen of Swords. Isn't that funny? I said Queen of Wands. Queen of Swords and Queen of Wands came out right after, and 10 of Cups. Wow. All right. There's your first forecast, Aries. Of course, some of you are coming together with your perfect queen, your feminine, dear energy perhaps coming in. My readings aren't gender specific, but I'm going to say in this scenario, this could indeed involve a same-sex couple getting together. Either two men or two women, what have you. But there is a match, a very equal matching here, and the 10 of Cups. So some of you have met your queen, right? And you are resonating with perhaps Queen of Wands energy. Of course, this is fire, Aries. Some of you are dealing with someone who is resonating with that Queen of Swords energy. Now, in terms of attributes, right? The Queen of Swords comes in, and Queen of Swords energy is all about being extremely honest with who you are, extremely honest with what kind of person you are, not pretending to be anyone else, right? So Swords is all about the mental. It's also the sort of truth that comes in terms of the way we communicate and the way we talk, the way we express ourselves. But with Queen of Swords, we're specifically talking about the energy of cutting away the masks, right, that we hide behind. The Queen has done that. It's been an exhausting process, but she's managed to do that. And now when she calls you in front of her, she calls you in and she beckons you to do the same. She doesn't entertain anybody who's phony, right? She doesn't entertain anybody who kind of comes across with a false mask, okay? And so in this way, some of you are certainly dealing with this kind of energy this week, right? Aside from what I said initially, which this could certainly indicate a same-sex pairing, that is a very good connection, obviously, with the 10 of Cups. That aside, now I'm just getting right into the energy. So this is what you're dealing with this week. It could be that you are dealing with some healing issues, and part of the healing requires you to be honest with someone. If we're talking about codependency, some of you are dealing with addictions, or you may be dealing with someone who has addictions. And so in this way, the Queen of Swords comes in, because the only way to kind of heal in situations like that is to have very frank and open discussion. Now, the Queen of Wands is equal in measure. Queens are water, by the way. All queens represent the watery aspect of the suit, right? And so here with Queen of Wands, we also have the watery aspect of fire, in the sense that this Queen of Wands has really gone through a lot, right? She's been really baptized by fire many times. She's gone through a lot of difficult situations, right? that have really transformed her. They've been hard, right? They've been very, very hard, but they've transformed her. And in an effort to be sort of the guide for others, right? This is the Queen of Wands oftentimes comes in quite demure, not as radiant as she truly is. She brings herself down to earth, right? So that others can be helped by her experience, by her wisdom, by her teaching, by her counsel, right? If she were, the Queen of Wands is one of these that if she were to stand up and really show all of her glory, she would blaze too brightly. And so, and that's just a testament to everything that she's been through. Queen of Wands also comes in at a time when you're going through something very, very difficult, and you need to be reminded that you have the strength to do it. So, Aries, some of you may be indeed dealing with someone who is dealing with addiction issues or healing of some kind, right? And so you're the one who's kind of being called upon to do a lot of the work here. This may be a relationship, certainly, a family relationship, a friend relationship. It could indeed be also a connection with someone that you have a lot of love with, right? Right. So just helping them through sort of a healing process. Ultimately, it leads to something quite positive with this Ten of Cups. It leads to the outcome that you want, in the sense that if you guys were both dealing with codependency, it could be that you are dealing with someone in your love life and you're both kind of, in this codependent sort of relationship. And this is the week where the real hard conversations come in about what's been going on, but you handle it, right? Queen of Wands, Aries, those of you who resonate, you handle it. And after this discussion, it happens, some of this healing and this gentleness that's called for is also coming in. This situation comes out quite nicely. Okay, you heal what needed to be healed. If there was a rift, you come back together. If you're separated, you come back together. And a lot of it is because of the open and frank communication. Again, some of you may be also dealing with a very strong same-sex relationship, matched relationship, that this weekend ascends to a high level of commitment. All right, Seven of Wands, Empress energy, and Queen of Cups, another queen. So we got a lot of queens on deck this week. Seven of Wands talks about standing your ground. And so, and Empress energy, of course, this is the great mother card, right? The divine feminine, talking about bringing in nurturing and balance, making the way ready for creative endeavors to come through. Of course, Empress energy is the great creative energy, right? The creative energy of the feminine, right? The divine feminine. It's very much complementary with deer energy as well. So some of you are indeed standing your ground this week. You have a lot of testing going on this week with this Seven of Wands. People are really coming at you in a way, right? I'm going to say for some of you, it's a case of you standing your ground to achieve what you want, because Seven of Wands talks about dreams and aspirations. So for some of you, Aries, it could be in your career, or it just could be in your personal life. Something, it could be, some of you are artists, may have something that you're doing that's very close to your heart. It may involve activism of some kind. Whatever the case may be, you're standing up to obstacles this week. You're coming up with a lot of creative solutions this week for obstacles that are coming in your way. A lot of the energy that you're using is, of course, this Empress energy. So you're being very strong in a very sort of, you're really pulling on that feminine creativity inside of you this week, Aries. You're coming to the plate. A lot of the solutions that you're finding this week are in that vein of kind of motherly solutions. It could be that you're dealing with people this week who it's their issues that you're solving, right? Because you kind of come in almost as this supportive mother figure to sort of help them. There's nurturing coming in. There's gentleness coming in, right? Also for yourself, Empress energy a lot of times comes in when it's time for you to take care of yourself, right? To heal yourself, to revitalize yourself. Some of you are certainly getting into your own sort of sense of satisfaction and beauty, right? You're treating yourself. You may be pampering yourself. All of these things are part of sort of loving yourself again. Some of you could have very much been coming out of a codependent relationship with the Seven of Wands. You've battled your way out of it, and now it's time for you to look after yourself. A Queen of Cups comes in for some of you this week, and this is a really supportive energy. Somebody, it could be a friend or a relative, a female, maybe an aunt again, or a very close friend of yours who comes in. And it doesn't have to be a female, but this person is resonating with a lot of sort of um, feminine, sort of open, receptive energy. They're there to sort of support you. They'll be talking with you. It could be they're coming in also to sort of support you with this fight here that you're having, because this can be quite draining, right? What you're going through here. This may have been not only this week, this may have been for a while going on, this sort of battle that you have trying to stand your ground on a particular issue. And so, yes, you're trying to keep yourself revitalized and nurtured and strong and powerful. But this person, Queen of Cups, who is somebody who has a great deal of affection for you, comes in this week to lend a hand. Two of Pentacles, King of Swords, and you have the Magician. So some of you are juggling, right? This could also be where some of the frustration is coming in from this fire and energy at the beginning. Some of you are juggling a couple of jobs. You're juggling a few different responsibilities, perhaps, right? It's a lot of work, right? It's a lot of work. And so you may be feeling a little bit more frustrated this week. You may be feeling a little bit more agitated, right? King of Swords comes in, and the King of Swords is quite interesting. He kind of comes in, this energy comes in sometimes. He's a great rule maker. He's also the great sort of disciplinarian. And I think this energy, you're maybe drawing on this energy this week because it could be for some of you, Aries, you're juggling a lot because somebody else is not pulling their weight. And so this week you come in and you're like, hey, listen, you need to do your responsibilities. You need to live up to your responsibilities. You need to do your job. You need to, I can't do everything, and I certainly can't do your job for you. And so this week is a week of some really hard truths for some people, and you really take the lead in that, right, with this King of Swords energy. A Magician comes in, and it's quite interesting that part of what you're doing this week in terms of getting everybody in line, right, that's the magic that you're bringing to the table. I mean, you have some of you Aries, not only do you have the ability to sort of juggle all of these responsibilities, but you also come in very much as a leader, as a sort of like example, and you kind of just whip everybody into shape. Some of you, this could be at your job, or this could be in a particular project you're working on, but you kind of whip everybody into shape, and so you really find that you're quite good at that as well. You come into your own with this Magician energy. Things are working the way they should be, right? And you feel as though like you are really sort of finally coming into your own, really working, playing to your strengths and playing to your talents this week. But it is going to require a lot of juggling and a lot of sort of getting people to step up and be, take their responsibilities seriously, right? So this week, a lot of the leadership in a particular situation, especially when it comes to sort of laying out logically what everybody has to do, the thinking. You're the thinker for this week. You're the one who tells everybody, the director of a particular project, as it were, is happening. But yet you do realize, you get reaffirmation coming in that this is indeed going the way it's supposed to be going, and you are indeed doing a very good job on this particular project or goal. Temperance energy, Justice, and the Wheel of Fortune. There we have three major arcana. So for some of you, this is a very heavy week of being patient in a way, tempering yourself, right? Temperance is Sagittarian energy, Justice is Libran energy. But what we're talking about is this week you're being very, very strong in your emotions, very, very strong in not reacting, right? Not being the fire ant, right? It could be that a particular situation is calling for you to really just temper yourself, right? Because things are righting themselves. It can be that in a particular situation in your life, some of you Aries, things have been very out of balance. It could be at work that things have been out of balance. It could also be in a personal relationship or just in your life, I'm going to say that things, for instance, some of you may have been working very, very hard, but the returns haven't been what they should be, right? Or some of you have had, have not had a lot of work, but you've been doing a lot of work in other areas, but those areas don't pay. And so there's an out of whack balance, right? Some of you may be feeling out of balance in relationships in the sense that you're the one who's always having to put all the work in, to be sort of patient, to be the one who's kind of moving things along, and the other person isn't. Whatever the case may be, for you this week, it's about really rebalancing whatever stage in your life that's kind of come out of balance, certainly with you taking on too much responsibility. Some situations may have come out of balance with just you're reacting to them too quickly. And so this week you really exercise a lot of temperance in that sense. You feel that the winds of change are coming. And so you're able to exercise a bit more patience and control and not react to people so much and be much more measured in the way that you carry yourself. Of course, temperance energy is Sagittarian energy. And some of you may indeed be dealing with a Sagittarius whose relationship with you or your relationship with them has been out of balance or has been not quite positive or fair up until recently, and all of this is coming into balance this week with this particular person. And a huge opportunity comes this week, a golden opportunity to sort of either in career, in life, or in love, right? This it's almost like there is a window, I'm going to say, of opportunity to do something that you wanted to do before, but things weren't right, right? Things weren't balanced before. It could be that you were dealing with someone and the communication was out of balance, or for some reason the energies weren't they just weren't aligned for a harmonious connection, right? But then this week, this kind of balances out, and opportunity comes in for you to once again make that connection or make that, achieve that your goal or get over whatever that hurdle was with this individual this week or in this particular phase of your life this week. All right, this is going to be the last spread. Ace of Cups, Nine of Wands, and the Moon. All right, so some of you have most recently started a new love, most recently gotten to a new relationship, or there's been an inkling of a new relationship. It could just be that you've met somebody and love has sprung, the beginnings of it, right? But you're looking back, right? Some of you are still kind of in a really rough stage. It's interesting. You're in a stage of your life and you're just not quite over this stage yet. I'm not sure that you have room for this new love in your life the way it is now. But you're coming to the end of it because Nine of Wands talks about just looking over a particular rough patch that we are going through and just reevaluating everything you've gone through up until now and preparing yourself to sort of exit this difficult stage of your life. This could have been a period of really having a lot of burdens that you had to shoulder, a lot of responsibilities. It could have been a period where you were just doing a lot of internal work because you had gotten over past sort of heartbreak, right? So whichever the case may be, it's been a very difficult emotional and spiritual time for you. But this time is coming to an end, and as this time is coming to an end, this new love is coming in. And interestingly enough, moon energy is at play because you're really not sure. You're like, uh-oh, I'm not sure what I'm feeling. I feel like this love is coming in, but I don't know. Is it because I'm coming out of this really difficult period now? Could it be that, it's because, hello, Vishal Mirpuri. I hope I said that right. Vishali Mirpuri. Hello. Nine of Wands, talks about that. And it could be that you're just feeling a little bit apprehensive about this new love connection because you're coming out of a very difficult time now, right? And you just feel unsure about your emotions, right? You feel unsure about what you're feeling. Is it just because you've had such a rough way, you've had such a drought of positivity or happy kind of love vibes that you feel this love? You're just second guessing yourself, right? You're not sure with this moon energy. But remember, the moon also brings with it a certain amount of anxiety and unsureness, right? The moon, and it is also about, a testing phase. It can be the final testing phase in a particular stage of your life, right? And so sometimes, certainly when moon energy comes in, oftentimes it's a beckoning for you to go deeper. It's a beckoning for you to go down a particular path. Although you may be apprehensive, you may have anxiety about it, we do know that once you go through this path with the moon, you will find out that there is nothing to fear. This is really the card of there is the only thing to fear is fear itself, but you have to go through the process to realize that. And a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people don't go through the process. A lot of people don't walk this sort of dark walk. You can see it's a passageway. Even as you can see on the cards, you can see how are you going to take that path, right? It's dark. There's only the light of the moon. And so a lot of people are afraid. But once you step on that path, and it's a path of self-discovery, it's a path of going a little bit deeper. Sometimes we talk about uncovering information that you didn't know, finding out things that people were keeping hidden from you. There is a fear associated with finding out the unknown because we never know if it's going to upset us or hurt us, right? But the truth, the light that we find and seeing and uncovering the things that are in the dark almost always, well, in fact, they do always eradicate their fear because we realize there is nothing to be afraid of in the first place, right? So you have a final testing phase for some of you, Aries, and this final really difficult period, it could be a difficult period in love coming to an end, and this week you have a new love erupting. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it. This is the weekly for Aries. Thank you to anyone who stopped by for watching. All right, I will be calling this a wrap, and at 12 o'clock today we're going to get right into the Leo. Okay, so I'm going to be doing the live weekly stream for Leo at 12 o'clock. That's in a half an hour, so if you want to come back and join me for that, please do. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Go ahead and say hi on the chat. The chats will be open for the video streams today. But I'm going to sign off on this one and get ready for Leo in a half an hour, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye now.